is like when Luna's at her peak, will the rest of the team be ready? Like when the rest of the team peaks, where's Luna at that point? I feel like she's not quite ready.
Possibly.
Personally.
I think it kind of depends on.
She still wants a little more farm at that moment.
And they have to face a Luna Morphling.
And then when I look at Team Serenity, I'm like, are they ready for, like, let's say they try and bring Luna in like a bit too early, maybe before she has like a bunch of items and stuff. I feel like Serenity are in a decent spot during those engagements if they wanted to like push this to a faster game. So I see it getting delayed out a little bit, and then Morph having okay time.
Are they actually going to be able to shut down the Morphling? Are they really going to be able to pressure him enough that it doesn't feel like he just outscales this whole game? I'm not convinced.
He doesn't have the Warlock this time. That's a pretty big deal.
Yep. Yeah. Up against Drunken Haze can be kind of annoying. But
True.
I don't think Brewmaster Tusk is the scariest of dual lanes, but it's not going to be as easy as last game.
Okay. Well, what do we think, boys? Predictions? We've got odds. They're pretty close, so not much help.
I like the old Morphlings. I think we have to go for
Serenity? You think Serenity's going to TI?
I think they're going to ruin my compendium.
As much as me too. I'd love to disagree with you. I think I'm in the Serenity camp too.
But certainly, it should be a good game. I think it can go either way.
What do you guys think? I'm genuinely curious.
I'm going
Are we split? Or are we all in agreement?
I'm leaning slightly Serenity. I think the momentum, they just looked so good last game with the Morphling. They've just played so fast-paced. And I just, that feeling in my gut.
Okay. There we go.
Thank you so much. Our wonderful, wonderful panel. And we are going to hop into this one. Again, one game going to TI. Is it IG? Is it Team Serenity? The next, what do you want to say time-wise? 20 to an hour will tell us that?
Oh, yeah, we've seen a 75-minute game today already in China, so who knows? 2 hours, let's go.
Hey.
We want to see a sunrise here while we're casting some Dota.
We don't get
the curtains in. Yeah, there's curtains there. Maybe we'll have to open them up. But should be a good one. It's so hard to predict these games with Serenity because they run such unconventional drafts. They're not picking like a traditional offlaner. They've had Xingqiu play a 3-position Queen Pain. They've had him play a Pugna here, and last game he was the what was he on then?
He was
on weird hero.
The Lesh, but he did the weird
Lesh. That's right. Yeah, when a Bloodstone Lesh, which is standard and all, but he's playing like the 3 position. So
he also went like Aquila Buckler with it too, which was the other cool part of it.
Kinds of fun, quirky stuff coming out of this team. But it's ZZZ on Morphling you've got to look out for this game. He's the guy you want to shut down if you're IG. He's the guy that ruined your game number 2. And once again, he's going to have Stone at his disposal to steal. Difference from IG is it looks like they're going to full-on tri-lane him this game around to try and give him a much rougher start. This is an okay idea. I still worry because it feels like you're jeopardizing perhaps your other 2 lanes if you're not careful.
They really want to get this kill at level 1. They know he's going to be switching over to Agiform, but they might have just walked with Envision. They do see the Luna now, so it's just going to be pressure.
He instantly gets some strength back up. Will not be getting any last hits here. They're going to be able to get majority of these last hits and denied. Problem is the range creep on the dire side did die, so this wave is going to push out and get to the Morphling's tower. Doing a Radiant for lifting. That's going to push this out even more. I think they actually want to build up this double creep wave, and then they're going to go for like some kind of a tower dive. Problem is Clockwork already showing up here. Tri-lane versus tri-lane. Let's go. Arcane Curse against 3 heroes also very good. It does feel like this is going to be a fun little 3v3 battle. Decay, fantastic in Tri-v-Tri. Arcane Curse, fantastic. Cog's very good. So is Luna Blessing. This is like 2 very strong tri-lanes. Only the Morphling is like the weak tri-lane hero here.
This is going to be scary. And again, maybe he can bait things out as well by switching over Strength Form, but it's really hard to do that early on. It's such a slow movement over to the side, but they're getting a good amount of denies. And Cogs.
24 strength stolen for Undying, but he can't really get in to take advantage of this 100 plus right-click damage. It is helping him get denies, but now the things settling down here. No full-on aggression just yet from the dude.
I really like the decision Paul had on up here. I'm going to call him. And just try and see if he can maybe get a pull-off as well. Would be nifty if they can make it happen. In the meantime, IG going to go over and contest almost immediately.
Yeah, that's what you want to do in these 3v3-esque lanes is get pulls going. The Boca with a ward here sees it happening and wants to contest it.
Oh, nice play there with the shards to block it off. And in the meantime, Q is just going to punch away at the Morphling.
That's a great play. You know that their goal in a tri-lane versus tri-lane is going to be to deny you farm and XP by pulling. If you can stop that from happening, you're in a great position. And Morphling not getting any farm as a result.
Other lanes also?
That's pretty uninteresting so far as like no major crazy things happening there. Death Prophet versus Lash having a slight advantage with Harass and last hits. Pugna having a slight advantage bottom against the Brewmaster. We'll see how things develop there. I don't think we'll see any... Perhaps like some kill potential in the mid lane, but probably nothing crazy happening in this place.
Well, and the Clockwork here trying to contest for this pull as well, although they are going to be able to get the Wild Wing Ripper over to it.
That side pull, that's going to get the wave further back. Dire Wave got the small pull, but experience-wise, just now hitting level 2 on Clockwork. Meanwhile, IG, 2.5 on a lot of their heroes in their trial lane, so they're going to be getting perhaps a fast level 3 here.
Maybe you can as well see Serenity try and farm up this camp while it's happening, because they're going to have access to this large creep. Snowball forward here on to the Silencer. Arcane Curse on the 3, still taking some damage there. First Blood going to be drawn. Meanwhile, Morphling does still hold on to Waveform. It's going to be a little bit of damage trade over and Waveform to the high ground.
Baboka's just baiting him there. The Tusk had 7 sick charges. He almost wants them to go on him. And this is a tri-lane versus tri-lane where lots of spells are being spammed, so having Magic Stick is king, and all 3 IG heroes have it. 7 charges on a couple, 4 charges on Luna. Dire side, similarly, also have Magic Sticks, Silencer and Morphling, but Silencer needs to be careful not to get caught out of position like we just saw. To be very cautious about how he plays this.
Good word placed down here as well by Serenity. There was the other one that we talked about earlier from the Radiant, as they are going to find the shards. Does have the waveform to get away. Be able to farm underneath tower most likely. But this is going to help them just obtain vision of any pulls or anything.
Gonna get some CS on the tower. Side pull not going to happen just yet, which is good news. What happens with these 5-minute runes? Imagine both top runes should go the way of IG. The bottom bounty runes could be tested though.
Obaka. A little bit of a pickle here is going to get a Cogs pushback onto 2 and just walk away from him, but the snowball to chase forward. They are going to be able to find that kill on to the Clockwork.
Nicely done, aggressive. Getting pretty scary. He has his boots with Ring of Aquila. There's the bounty rune. It's going to be 4 going their way. Fortunately for SRF, he doesn't have money for the bottle, or he could have used the bottle charges and then refilled it.
So close.
He does get the money now after the bounty rune. Even tier 1, okay. Huh. Just wanted to not miss the experience from those creeps. Fair enough.
You there again, just going to get pushed back, trying to drain away whatever mana they can. If you take a look at the CS so far, it is a lead for Luna, not insurmountable. And bottom lane, Sarf getting low there. This is going to be some decent damage onto the tower.
Yeah, he's going to fall back to his shrine, but while he's doing that, tower is going to get pummeled. May want to glyph it with one of the next blasts that comes out, although it doesn't look like Pug wants to use it. Back at top, Q. Trouble, waveform and everything. Did ZZZ overcommit though? Doesn't look like it.
Oh yeah, I thought you meant the dying overcommit. But yeah, they were able to take him down pretty rapidly, and as soon as the Tusk leaves, that's what happens.
Damage rune now. Boka pinging it out. This one to the Lash. Both he and Leshrac have a bottle. I think this is a bit overkill, getting this double bottle. Tusk can only really refill it on the bounty runes.
3 bottles overall by IG.
Wow, yeah, that's definitely too many bottles. This Tusk bottle definitely the unnecessary one, particularly for a hero that 660 gold early on is quite a lot. That's boots money, that's earned money. Not the worst, like, for the sustain aspect, but it is just a bit inefficient when you've already got these other bottles playing field.
DCZ trading hits again with Q. And as these levels have gone up, we can see that the laning stage has sort of settled out a little bit. Still favored into the IG, but it's not as bad.
No, it's not as bad as it initially looked. Once Serenity got some pulls going up top, they kind of stabilized things. They're always constantly on the back foot, but as long as they're getting some Morphling farm and he's not stuck on like 5 CS or something here, you're feeling okay. And Morphling 25 CS behind the Luna, but not too far behind the Luna that you're too worried. Oh, down bottom, here comes Luna.
This is a good rotation, but you also trying to
Counter
run.
TP.
does end up popping the split for this even. That seems a little excessive.
Yeah, that was honestly not needed, but well, making sure they get the tower deny. I love that rotation from Aggressive. It was just so good knowing that he needed to get there to stop the tower from going down, and also it's a big kill to get. Pugna's having a free farm lane. He's about to push a tower. Go and stop that from happening.
Are they going to take top here as well? They've got Exorcism. Oh no, they're not going to go for it. They want to defend mid. Or cancel?
Cancel, yeah, that's it. I think you look to trade tier 1s here. I mean, it's not even a trade. Aggressive has got no chance of pushing bottom tier 1. Q is potentially get this kill. He just used the Lucent Beam. It's going to be, okay, not too close. 160 health, still survives through it.
But again, you see up here top, they use the Exorcism with the rotation and ZYD, and they're probably going to take this tower.
Very quickly, Exorcism with a healthy duration left, and we'll see if get the last hit. No denies coming in. Morphling even getting the last hit. Perfect outcome for Team Serenity.
Are so good for them, and
yeah.
Is this, I mean, last game it was very clear, Morphling gets farmed, game is over. Do you feel like it's that same type of situation as we see down bottom? Yet again, they found Aggressive and running away. They do have another blast there. They're going to be able to find it. Not quite on the mark for Aggressive, and he does reveal himself with that
close
there.
To level 6.
Oh, they turn it around instead, trying to take down the Tusk. This Pugna is a menace.
He doesn't get any kills there, but he just 1v2s, forces 2 heroes to TP Fountain. He's going to be very happy with that outcome. The raindrops is helping give him that extra bit of survivability. He is causing problems. This just seems like his playstyle. Go into these side lanes completely alone and just push it and really push it to the limit. And he creates so much space for his team while getting a lot of farm for himself.
Relying upon those outplays, and God, if you look at the mana pool, it's almost like he doesn't need to go back to base. 1,300 at this point, taking the Magic Wand, he's got the Robe of the Magi, Arcane Boots, gonna go for an Aether Lens on top of that.
Gonna be tricky to deal with this game.
The jungle?
Trying to go on a little warding mission, runs into 2 heroes. It's unfortunate. Perhaps a value smoke there just to get those wards down, but ultimately not gonna be too big of a death. Does happen around the bounty rune.
Run into more there.
The rotation coming in, they not gonna be able to contest the bottom rune actually.
Throw out one more arcane good measure there, and head back now to their respective locations on the map. I like seeing this Q getting a little bit of alone time as an Undying, although again, it is a hero that sometimes falls off a little bit. But the thing I was wondering is that last game was very clear. Morphling gets farmed, game over. This game, do you feel like it's as clear cut?
Not that simple, but it is obviously if Morphling has a good game, he is going to be able to outcarry the Luna, I would say. But the 5-man from IG can be pretty scary. What I thought.
Look at this now. The hook shot in. They've also got the Death Prophet coming from behind. Has the Exorcism going? They didn't bring him down in time. They do manage to kill off the Clockwork, and now Death Prophet in no man's land. Just going to get destroyed. They brought more coming from IG, and they will manage to take down 4.
Aggressive was in the perfect position for the Eclipse, flanking him from behind. No creeps to take any of the damage. Just cleaned up 1,800 hero damage dealt by the Luna, thanks to the Eclipse in the end there. Flesh Golem amping it all up as well. Very well played by IG, responding to that Team Serenity aggression.
Well, 11 minutes in now, and the first Exorcism, very beneficial. The second one hurt a lot.
Yeah.
It's going to be about 1,000 gold lead. Big change, almost 2,000 gold. I don't know how much that sets them back, but definitely feels like IG's happier.
They're kind of playing with limited vision. Because IG got their wards down first, we're seeing this Clockwork really struggle to move out on the map to get his own vision. He's always getting scouted wherever he goes. That kind of first mover's advantage where just getting vision before your opponents is going to give you a big edge. Really feels like they need to maybe use some smokes or something to get that out, but right now, XCJ on the Silencer is just looking to hit his level 6, get Global Silence, because if they had a Global Silence there, that could have been a very, very different fight outcome.
Yeah, and again, just like feeling as if that Invis rune was almost a bait in a certain way. Good position they felt like they had. The hook shot was able to connect there onto the Tusk, and Bobica has level 6. Will find himself a snowball if he wants. There's the snowball after the fact, runs into the Pugna, but that's just going to pull him deeper into the -2 territory.
Yep.
If you come back,
Nice hook shot, denying the haste rune and getting the kill for the team. It does reveal there's a ward somewhere in the neighborhood, but Tusk may not know exactly where it was.
Noticed kind of an interesting build on the Brewmaster. No points in Drunken Haze.
Okay, I've seen this a few times here and there. It feels a little bit unusual, but he was 1v1 against Pugna, so kind of makes sense. Still feel like there is some value in the single point, but this spell has been nerfed quite a bit. The level 1 Drunken Haze is a lot worse than it used to be.
Again, Serenity sitting up on their high ground. Level 5, they're close right now. Getting that global silence up and online. Again, it's 4 heroes mid, while the Morphling is able to farm away. Going for that Morbid Mask first.
Yep. Same build as last game, different order. He gets the mask before the Dragon Lance this time. Last game he had the Dragon Lance into the mask because he wasn't being harassed, but this time he wants the sustain. The mask allows him to farm jungle, gives him just that health regen. Play around local silence with a hookshot. They want to fight this.
Able to get it right on time, and they do still have the blue skull, which they're going to use now. The silence is still there onto the Tusk. He is going to die, but CJ running away.
Tombstone, Tomb on Tomb.
They're able to make that one work. They're trying to blow through it as quickly as possible, but they're losing it rapidly. PYW getting away from them for the moment. The jump forward. ZZZ going crazy right now. A very low agi, but Q, they end up losing him.
Aggressive. He blows him up.
Made the play. He will pay for it.
Yeah, that's still a heavy defeat for IG. Great team fight. Morphling showing up with a Tombstone. This is a great part about Morphling against Undying. You don't just have to sit back and farm. The second these 5v5 team fights break out, you have Undying's best spell at your disposal. And we saw there, that Tombstone just destroyed IG.
Yeah, 14 minutes in, and this is not the time that you would anticipate a Morphling being capable of farming. Even though he dies right there, you look at him, he's still sitting pretty high up in the net worth, and all of these heroes are. And as we've spoken about before, the hero that can carry if it gets to the late game.
Going to be optimizing once again into this right-click build, it seems, which should work just fine. You can also take over that Luna form later on in the game if you want to. That mid-late game area. IG's next move is going to be, it does feel like they're the ones who want to play kind of cautiously, but at the same time don't want to just sit back and let this Morphling farm. Their Brewmaster ultimate being on cooldown does limit their options though.
Got it. 15-minute mark now. We see a couple of bounty runes traded off. There's still one sitting over here. We'll see if Serenity decides to take it. Oh, they are hunting right. Pugna and Clockwork ready to go.
Decent radiant defensive walls in this jungle though, so they seem to be fairly aware that they are safe in the top lane, aggressive. Pushing a tier 1 tower.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Get this without any immediate exchange from Serenity. They are setting up to go for this tier 2 bottom, scouting behind. Does start rolling in. The Mocha.
Found an immediate
Yeah.
Get him. There is going to be the Arcane Curse connects onto the Lesh. He still should fall here as get within range. Up nowhere down. Global silence to follow as well. They're immediately going to buy back the Tusk. Do they really want to fight into this right now? X-System hasn't even been used yet. But he's TPing in. Or is Splitter able to hit on the 2. And XTC going to be pushed back as well. There's a dual sister lift up as XSS does live, but that jump forward, they find it with this Morphling and
He might
switching
die.
over. He's getting down very low. Can't
Can he
live
TP
through
up?
this. Trying to get himself out of here, but he's still living.
This is
How
80 TP
aggressive. He's happy as a clam with long duration stuff, but he gets clapped to death with one last hit from the Brewmaster. And meanwhile,
Got another spirit sword.
Is in trouble. He might end up going down. The shards, they don't block him off. He falls at the last second.
Oh, the snowball.
Do you really want to go into this even further? The silence. He kicked himself. It looks like he might end up dying as well. Death Prophet. Even though you got this morph, you got to be careful about the Ghost Lady.
I don't know if that's worth it in the end, giving ZYD a triple kill, getting the full team wipe. Definitely a huge confidence booster for Team Serenity, who just win a massive team fight underneath the tier 2 tower. They take the tower as well. All of a sudden, this game just gets blown wide open in Team Serenity's favor. They come out massively ahead in gold from the team fight, but it still looked very, very good for them.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if the fight recap shows the net worth of the tower also going down there or not.
No, it does not.
So that's another thing. I mean, if you look right now, it's
Yeah.
about 2,000 to 3,000 net worth lead for them. But
There was a Tusk buyback as well in that fight, so that kind of chipped away at his gold a little bit. Definitely worth it in the end. You got to help make sure they get that couple of kills at the end, even though he does die. But very good result. The big thing there, Serenity didn't actually have morph at the start of that fight. If they did, he could have morphed into that Undying, gotten the Tombstone very early on, but it was on cooldown at the start of the fight. Did not have options to play around that, but we'll have that for the next fight that is going to be coming Serenity's way.
oh, and yet again, the Bash brothers looking for an opening here, but Yank Squad will not connect this time around. I like the Clockwork build going for this hood early on. Might decide to upgrade that to a pipe later.
Pretty value pipe game. It's Leshrac as well as the Luna Eclipse. I feel like it's a good idea.
I think it's also just because like you have this Pugna that wants to go for damage. You need somebody else to pick that up in this game. Although it looks like he's going to be going now. But
There's a hook shot at mid, but it didn't land. The Undying, who feeling like he's having the best time. Seen a couple of games now, Q, against this Morphling. Feels like he can't keep his tomb alive, and he's giving away the tomb. He just can't really avoid with that Morph cast range.
it does have a haster in here. Since picking up the triple kill, ZYD now going back for the BKB after Yule Scepter, and already has the Ogre Axe.
A game of BKBs for both sides. Leshrac, Luna, Brew, the 3 Radiant Cores have it queued up on the Dire side. Morphling even has it queued up after his Yasha, so Radiant needing it entirely because of the silence of Pugna. Very annoying heroes to verse if you don't have a BKB. The Dire side is magic damage all over the place, so these BKBs are just going to allow you to hold your ground. So the question kind of becomes who gets the better of these BKBs? If everyone's popping BKBs, who does damage through BKBs, who is disabled through it? And it does feel like Morphling is going to be the scariest hero in these BKB battles because of this right-click build.
Now the call comes out to head through the jungle. Meanwhile, you have EP who's moving down the mid lane. They could try to connect together after possibly finding a pick-off. Push for this tier 2 tower. Again, a very strong teamfight lineup.
Dire Observer Ward doesn't quite scout the Undying. If they're considering a smoke of their own, this just feels like a timing where they do not want to fight. Well, Clockwork was going for that high ground ward, but his smoke popped there, so forced to back off.
And you see the Radiant Vision right now. They don't see much in this area, but they do see that nobody is coming up top to defend against ZRF. They're playing it as safe as can be right now.
SRF just keeping this lane pushed out. I like what he's doing here. He is going to have to TP back now. It looks like he doesn't feel safe there anymore, and also feels like his team may need him for this mid fight. But tier 2 tower already going down. Nothing IG can do about that.
I really like this ward that was placed by the Lesh as well. It spotted a couple of heroes in the area, so they know
Career.
they're over there.
Baboka snipes it.
Give it the punch.
We'll see next exorcism is used for Roshan. If Radiant are going to hide in their base, this is a time where they're pretty weak without their BKBs. Luna's 1k gold away. If you can get a Rosh before BKBs come online for IG, you should be the stronger of the two teams. Global Silence is just going to go uncountered, but perhaps Team Serenity are just feeling a little bit hesitant as they do find aggressive in the jungle.
This is a really scary time. They don't have Flare as they're going to look over to the side, but aggressive, hiding
Silencer
away.
finds him.
They got him here as well. The pings come out. They've got vision. The global is there. And immediately, this Luna is going to die. They're looking for more as well. Chasing down another XSS. Nowhere left to go. He's gone. 3 dead. No buyback. Let's go, Roche, baby.
That was just a perfect play. They may even just go down the mid lane. They've already got this lane pushed out very far. And without buybacks, that could just be a lane of racks. These heroes do not defend at all. They can perhaps delay. If SRF wants to throw a Primal Split, he can delay the push, but then he won't have Primal Split.
The glyph.
What?
They used the glyph.
Okay, I mean, it delayed the creep wave, but I don't think that's sufficient.
This is a little
They're
bit
crumbling.
rough. This building is gone in an instant. And
This melee Rax is gone.
all right, Serenity making it happen early on, 22 minutes, and they want to go to TI. Chasing forward, it's a lot of damage out there right at the start. They switch over, take the Undying, but it's the lift up already. The Brewmaster split has him up in the air. Didn't get the Tombstone down either. Can they kill any of these heroes off this Clockwork in a little bit of a scary spot? They jump forward and do take down that Morphling.
Oh, a bit overzealous there. Definitely, they had the same wrong idea as me. That melee Rax was not gone. Respawning just in time with the Brew split to start the fight off. Luna aggressive, able to clean up a few kills there. Brewmaster did a lot of damage in that one, and without the exorcism, we saw melee Rax kept alive at about 400 health. They could have like thrown all their bodies, and I think they would have gotten the melee Rax, but I don't actually think that's worth it in the end there. The Death Prophet, the Pugna could have just gone in, thrown another blast or two, but instead they're going to fight now.
Yeah, no Eclipse, no Brew split. It's time to go back in. Did they just run down mid again?
They might. Morphling's back in 10 seconds time. Can they go? They're pinging it. They're like, this melee Rax is low. They have no ults. Let's go, boys.
They've got Pugna. All right, you take us once, we're going to go at you again.
No Eclipse, no Brew split. You said it. And that was what ruined them last time. It wasn't really just the heroes respawning. It's the fact they had those big ultis. And yeah, with a high ground ward, this push feels very safe and secure. Radiant Sentry's just out of range. And here we go.
They don't have any way to defend against this right now, as they're just going to walk forward, and this is the type of Dota we like to see. The lift up onto one, as they are going to take that Undying already right in the front. As
12 seconds until morph, and that's when the Tombstone's going to go the other way, but it's like Serenity don't really care about a range Rax. They're happy to back off. Now could be Roche time, but at the same time, you just took a lane of Rax. Yeah, may as well. It's a range Rax.
Denied his Rax. I mean, I guess, like you said, it doesn't really matter that much. You just don't see it that often.
No, not at all. But we'll see them fall back to farm. Radiant team doesn't really threaten Roche that well. Luna does okay at it, but feels like they need to win a fight before they can go to the Roche pit.
Yeah. Clips back up in 20 for sure. But 5,000 net worth lead up, and Invictus Gaming are going to have this thorn on their side.
Both teams have smoked up. Are they going to go on Luna? Luna is bait here. She just gets her BKB on the courier. They weren't ready for that.
The hook shot back in. They have the global though, so she can't get the Eclipse off. And meanwhile, SRF jumps forward. He wants to get the split off. It's there as well if they want to go for it, as they're starting to take down this Clockwork. He needs to run away, but he is done.
Tuss just got a Shadow Blade, so they've got no detection for him. Exorcism was used, and it doesn't feel like they're going to get much out of it. That BKB courier delivery, it was such a good bait from IG. They had everyone behind the Luna, and even the Luna, you think, okay, sure, Luna's baiting, but we can kill her, right? Really quickly. She has no BKB. Wait a second. This, right as they jump, that courier drops a BKB into Luna's inventory, and that wins IG a fight.
Oh, and IG right now, this is so smart from them. If somebody comes over to this shrine hoping to defend against the Roche play that they think might be happening, they could blow them up. Although it looks like nobody is going to make that TP rotation, and possibly a little bit of a wasted buyback there.
This is a pretty sneaky Shadowblade pickup from Baboka. Very unconventional Tusk build, first item Shadowblade, but this is a way to hunt down Morphling. You Shadowblade in, you punch him, you snowball, and you can actually chain stun him where he can't morph strength. And we could see it come into play, but Dire Sentry Ward is going to see him swinging in.
Yeah, has vision of him right there. The pings come out. Now they know. Are they trying out? Hiding behind a tree and
trying to bait.
It's not going to happen. Like,
that doesn't work. Yeah, the Shadowblade's wearing off, so Baboka knows he kind of has to back off regardless. Whether he knows there's a Sentry Ward there, hard to say. But IG may look to go for another attempt. Once again, Baboka Shadowblading in, seeing what he can find. They're going to drop more sentries for this.
They need to get back base. Look at this. This is pushing in. They don't have a creep wave. This is going to be a thorn in their side the rest of the game.
Yeah, that's where losing a Rax this early on is very, very pesky. It's okay for like another minute or so maybe now. They've got a couple buildings that may draw some of the aggro, but it's pesky.
Luna shows there, and now Serenity know we can head out. We can either farm up or possibly push out the other lanes as well.
Need to keep making sure they stay near this Roche, and Baboka picks up an invis. Backs off.
Taking the hook. He wants to go for it there. They jump forward. This is a little bit crazy. The BKB comes out as well as Morphling is starting to lay into SRF. They're going to take down the Tombstone right at the start of this, and this is not a fight anymore for IG. The hook shot, they chase it forward. They have the global as well. They got him caught. Can they kill him off in time? They're going to end up turning this back around. They have the Tombstone down for the Dire. That's not the way that you want this fight to go for IG. And they are going to get away, though. So
Yeah,
they do
they-
manage to escape.
They don't get any of those big kills. Will they attempt Roshan? The DP's just thrown up in the air. Great Cyclone from the Brewmaster. And they are going to try and finish off Roshan, but Exorcism hasn't got that much duration left on. This feels, way too risky. They've got to back off, and IG just kiting them. They're forcing out these Exorcisms. They're just disengaging. Luna did throw an Eclipse there, so it's ultis on both sides. It's not just an Exorcism, but Exorcism is kind of the most important one in some ways, even if both do have these long cooldown ultis.
And slowly, this Luna continues to farm up. Currently has the BKB, Dragonlance going towards that Scotty. We've seen how quickly Luna can take a base if you happen to win a fight in a good position. This Serenity you're going to need to be wary of.
Yep.
Of course, 28 minutes in now. Still a little bit unclear what the goal is at this point for Team Serenity.
They really want this Roche. I think are kind of conflicted between just walking into the Roche pit with Exorcism and trying to take it versus getting a kill or two and then going Roche. And they've kind of gone back and forth between the two ideas. We saw there they tried to fight before. Nice guess with the hook, doesn't guess right, unfortunately. But I think they could have at some point, before the BKBs come up, just walked into the Roche and taken it. It's kind of too late for that, so now they're kind of like, well, can we just walk into Roche? Maybe not. It's a bit risky, you know? Fighting around the pit against the Brew Split, or against the Clips, against these BKB heroes is not the easiest thing in the world.
Shards a little bit off the mark there. Pugna very speedy with this Boots of Travel build.
Yep. He's going for his Dagons again. Xingqiu.
He knows what he
man.
likes.
Yep.
Oh.
I mean, if we're comparing this team to Wings with their playstyle and unique stuff, he is the Faith Bian of this team. With his unique hero pool, his unique builds, he's adding a very creative flair to Team Serenity.
Bobica going to walk up here towards the top lane. They had to TP heroes back to the base to deal with the push that was coming in, but now...
He's just the walk into Roche, and he just walks straight in. Which was kind of a Roche sneak, because they're showing heroes elsewhere on the map, and those heroes may not even get hunted down. Pugna's juking in the trees. Uh-oh, walks back in, though.
Yeah, they spotted out the Undying who popped his Flesh Golem. And now, they're chasing forward for this. They got eyes on him. He is going to go down.
Morphling want to take the Tombstone? No, he wants to hold on to his Morph. It would have expired fairly fast, so I don't think he feels like he would have had the Tombstone for the high ground push there. Rather hold on to the cooldown.
Bobica here, he's going to wait until the creep wave gets over to this side, and then he's going to try and go for cutting it. But the problem is that you do have this other creep wave that's coming forward, and it's really hard to try and clear through this wave.
And even if you do, their backdoor protection's still going to be disabled. They're going to glyph now, and we'll see if they can defend this push. Morphling gets chipped pretty low.
It's trying to rack up as well as the tower is falling. And guess what? They also have creeps in mid, so even if they kill off the other one, it almost doesn't matter. SRF jumps forward. There's going to be the split already at the start. They're trying to burn through these to lift up on a DP, but she's kind of fine with this.
Clockwork getting pretty low here.
Trouble.
There's a hook shot, but won't get a chance to use it.
They do go down there. The rest of them backing out. And with the split down, Bobica, can he interrupt this? Bulwark punches the wrong target. Okay, they turn around with the global. They get out with some, and now it looks like ZYD trying to TP, not going to happen.
The physical damage was just enough to bring him down. IG keeping their hopes alive. This gold swing is going very much in their favor over the last kind of 5 minutes or so. Even with Aegis picked up by the Serenity side, they've held on, they've maintained a good level of farm on Luna. 6k gold, bites the full Skadi. Things not over just yet. This Serenity team, we're kind of starting to see a fall off of some of these heroes. The BKBs making it a lot harder for Pugna to have an impact on team fights. Silencer with the global, it's very easy just to BKB out of that if you need to. The end result is this game to go kind of a lot later.
The other thing about this is Q is building towards that Spirit Vessel. You look at that on Morphling, things start to get really scary for him. No longer the free escape that we've been seeing before. But he does have an Aegis.
Yeah, and that's where taking just a tier 3 tower with that Exorcism was fine for Serenity. It was just a matter of getting out. If DP successfully TPs, you walk away happy, and you know that you can go for another push with next Exorcism. They may do that anyways. 30 seconds, DP's going to be respawning, they can group up top. Rax are exposed. They've already taken mid, so there's a lot of pressure going IG's way through mid and now top lane. How are they going to look to deal with this and defend? The big question.
Of course, IG need to get the split push going, but with Clockwork sort of off the map and playing constantly a threat, very careful. He actually has his blade mail done. That is a lot of value in this game with Glaives, with Leshrac.
It's like Serenity pretended to be pushing top. They left some illusions there, so it may be obvious when no heroes are revealing themselves, but they're going to smoke straight into the jungle and straight into Paul Q, who's just trying to finish his Spirit Vessel. Instead, actually a different kill. Perhaps a bigger kill, in fact.
Snowball is there, but they got him caught. This is a huge one for him. This is the save.
Yeah, I think you'd rather this one than the Undying. The Undying Tomb you're not too scared of. They're not going to instantly turn it into a push, though. It's a 40-second respawn. Does look like they're just going to take the shrines instead.
So well, Tombstone there for your own usage, to be honest.
We've seen that definitely be the case. I wonder if you might start morphing into the Luna, particularly when going for the push, being able to go back and forth between Luna and Morph form. Sounds pretty nice. Kind of like I think debatable which is better at this point. Definitely up until now it's been almost always the Tombstone.
Yeah, because you've got that longer duration too, so conceivably if you win a fight you could stay Luna and then it's really good. But
it just kind of...
Look at this courier.
It kind of increases your health pool too, because you can like do all this damage and push with Luna, get low health, and then morph back to your true form, and then you're back to full health.
But he's just going to drop the Tombstone there and go for the barracks. They don't have a great answer for this yet. The BKB as well if they want to use it. Aggressive going forward. They've already got the global silence that's coming out though to interrupt this and turning their sights now onto this Luna. He's going to run away for the moment. SRF gets the split off as well. They need to focus down this building before they start to get lifted. And
Snowball.
Easy is low on mana, but the Aegis is already down. Snowball to turn this one as well. Boba came in the backside of this, but he's starting to get completely destroyed here by the DP ulti and everybody's out.
They save the Luna with that Cyclone, but unfortunately they're just going to get out. They take the racks, they back off. Can IG chase for kills? They really want to right now. They know they're kind of weak without the Exorcism, but they just don't have that catch potential. With Tusk dead, he really is their only catch, and Tusk dies, and suddenly they are limited in options as that puts Serenity up now. 4 racks, just 2 remaining to get the Mega Creeps. That might not even be GG, I have a feeling. IG definitely a team that's going to want to hang on till the bitter end. They've got a Luna, they've got some kind of lane pushing potential even against Mega Creeps, but they're going to start losing every Bounty Rune, every Roshan. We're going to start seeing Cheese, Aegis, Refresher Shards on the dire side as this game goes on because of the multi-lane advantage.
To be honest, though, you look at the buyback status right now, and on several of these key heroes, they don't have it. Morphling just bought out for his Scotty. The Pugna keeps on upgrading his Dagon and not having buyback. You know, some of these things that other teams might be a little bit more conservative about, we're seeing the very open from Serenity with it. Although there's a DD bottom also.
Yeah, there is. I'd like to see him buy a bottle. I think these runes are just so much more powerful when you have a bottle. You get to use them during a team fight. Maybe eyeing off his buyback right now, but he could have just get his teammate even to pull him a bottle. Just be like, hey, where's my support? I need a bottle. Mr. Silencer, hit us up. One of the few ways you can kind of pull items in gold. We've seen teams do it with like Sentry Ward stay carries, but you can do it with bottles as well. And these late game bottles for a DD, Morphling, so stat based, he gets extra value from double damage rune.
36 minutes in now as Serenity are completely controlling at least this section of the map. We're seeing IG still get out there pretty effectively into the dire jungle, blocking off camps where they can, gain vision wherever possible, but bottom lane there's a push coming.
Exorcism is back online and they are ready to actually force things here.
I love to see this.
Cliff is ready this time. They're just going to start chipping away buildings, looking to brute force it.
Well, there's the split that comes out right at the start, and they are going to try and force back one. It's still a lot of damage onto these Brewlings. They need to be a little bit careful as...
Tusk is coming in from behind. They see him though.
Oh, they got eyes on him, able to isolate him and force him away right now with the rest of the heroes. So team fight kind of split off to 2 different sections, and Tusk still getting away. They missed that hook shot.
Oh, they see him now.
Snowball.
He looks mighty dead.
26 in already for the Silencer with Tusk dead.
But Exorcism wearing off. Gonna go back to the DP. We'll see if they still go for this push.
Jump forward, trying to force them out. Can they do it? The global comes out again, and now they're starting to burn through the blade mill. Aggressive, dropping incredibly low. They're taking them down. ZZZ is taking them down one by one. MOBA is there as well. Q is taking a ton of damage. They drop the tombstone for themselves, and with everybody falling, can they kill off any of these other heroes? ZRF, no life left.
They just want to end this game.
Forward, everybody's buying back. They might need to back out of here at this point as, well, Soul Rip as well, trying to live through this. You'll wait for him again in a second. This Morphling, they want the kill so badly, but it's not happening. Another decay, another turnaround. He gets forced again. A little bit of a misplay there. It looks like he is finally going to go down.
Yeah, they finally bring him down. Tower gets down to 30 health there. Going back in when Exorcism was down, perhaps a bit overzealous, but then forced out countless buybacks. It feels like it was 4 or 5 buybacks on that Radiant side. Yeah, that was... I see 4 buybacks from the Radiant. Everyone except Undying buys back. On the Dire side, it was 2 or 3 buybacks. Pugna, as well as Silencer.
Everybody loses gold.
Yeah, everyone loses gold. Minus 700, minus 1200 in terms of team gold changes, but big wins for Team Serenity. The key thing is their carries both have buybacks still. Morphling isn't going to be forced to use his, but Radiant getting Roshan could amend that. Unfortunately for them, it's a long Roche respawn. No luck here as they were desperately hoping for an Aegis cheese in their hands. But without it, this game gets a whole lot more difficult. Because both Morph and Pugna are going to be allowed to just respawn and push things out. Morph should not need to use a buyback here at 25 seconds. His team can buy enough time for him. Drop some cogs in the lane. Even if you lose like a tier 3 tower here, it's not worth using this buyback. 15 seconds, plenty of time for Team Serenity to delay this one out, even with Glyph still in hand.
They do have the Exorcism still if they need to fight within their base aggressive. Going into a fortification right now.
Pops a Glyph as he Mask of Madness, slow down the push.
It's going down. Morphling is back up.
They feel confident though. I think they just feel desperate actually. Morphling.
Oh, hook shot onto 2. They got him caught. The 4-step away. The global to follow. The pony is going to
go Morphling in the air though.
Again, they lift him up. The Exorcism's still going though, and they're holding on. Pugna's going to be back up in 7 seconds.
Importantly, the DP ult's being used, so if they don't get kills in a successful team fight off this, Team Serenity will have to slow things down a bit. Loco and TP out from the trees. Both teams will disengage. Oh, long wait for him. SRF is put out here.
He's dead?
Yep. No escape for him as... Oh my... Of course.
DD spawning as Roche.
Well, they're pinging it. They should know it's a max, pretty much a max respawn. They're just going to camp it out. I think it's literally on the dot for the max respawn, so they should be able to get it.
Gaben wants Serenity at TI. That's what we can.
Yeah, he's watching and he's like, let's input some code mid-match. Oh, Serenity lost a fight. Let's make Roche take another 2 minutes to respawn. Oh, they want to fight. Let's put a DD rune right in front of the pit.
Amazing play from these guys. A little bit of luck in with it as well, but you can see right here that there is still a hell of a lot of skill on this team, and you love to see innovation. That's the biggest thing.
Absolutely. I mean, DD or not, that Roche was theirs for the taking. There was never going to be a counterplay available. The DC comes out. Cheese on the Death Prophet. Looking very hard for IG to defend their last lane of racks now. Their Glyph is still up, I believe. They didn't use it during that last fight, but even so, they've got to find some way to actually win this fight, and that is the real tricky thing here.
I gotta say that, again, you know, we've seen a lot of Dota in the past couple of days here, and one of the things that we've noticed more and more often is teams unwilling to go high ground without buybacks and without Aegis. Serenity did all of those that last time.
Yep.
And that is really cool to see, particularly with the lineup that you would argue would scale later. So...
yeah, they were happy just to keep the momentum going and use Exorcism whenever it's up. I feel like a sign of a good team that knows how to play around Death Prophet is a team that's using, you know, 6, 7, 8 ultis in the first 30 minutes. There are so many teams that just wait for that perfect moment and, you know, wait. It's like, it's always this like discussion like, oh no, let's not go push it. I want to finish this item. No, this team, Serenity's, just anytime DP ult's up, they're finding a fight. They're finding a tower. They're very proactive with everything they do.
40 minutes in.
Goes straight through the mid lane. Creeps are in base.
Radiant's bottom
Building
barracks
is
are
gone.
under
There's no brewmaster. That just makes this all the more harder. Very long respawn because of the buyback as well.
Radiant structures are fortified.
It's just between mega creeps.
So hard to deal with. And as you mentioned, they might not necessarily GG out after that. They're going to play through to the bitter end. That is a dead zombie man as the second tombstone is going to fall. They chase for it for more. Dagon there onto the left track. They're trying to isolate and kill off this Pugna. But the bigger fish to fry are there is that is a dead Luna.
Yep.
No buyback. Pack your coat, Serenity. You're going to Canada.
Holy cow, this team coming out of nowhere, the open qualifiers. Every year it feels like some team from China in the open qualifiers who just will catch people by surprise. We had